Wisconsin, 10 electoral votes at stake. It's a dead heat, literally a dead heat. If you go to Real Clear Politics, they are both at 46.9. You can't get more dead heat. This isn't margin of error. This isn't, one has slightly. This is literally a dead heat. Okay? I think that this thing ends up in Trump's column eventually. Okay? In 2016, it was less than a point. In 2020, it was 0.63 for Biden. 20,682 votes for Biden. Okay? That's razor thin. We had that Senate candidate, Eric Hovde, on the other day. Okay? He's, I think, running really strong against Tammy Baldwin. This could be a really interesting race to watch. Ron Johnson, when he was running for re-election, he's always been behind it. He surges over the top, running a really good campaign, to be clear. We're going to want to keep Wisconsin in focus. This is going to come down to the wire. Historically, and for every other reason, it's going to be there. So I'm just telling you right now, Wisconsin is 10 electoral votes that will be up for grabs. I don't see anything that's going to push it real hard one way or the other. Both are going to fight there. The convention, obviously, is in Wisconsin. I've done a few conventions, okay? I've actually been to every convention since 96. And then both in 12 and 16 was intimately involved in them. Here's what I'll tell you. There's always this good talk by the host side. So in this case, it's the Republicans who claim that the convention is going to help them. It doesn't. No one cares. No one goes, God, I'm going to vote for your guy because you had our convention in our city. Just doesn't. I mean, that's not, people don't vote like that. Could it help with some data? Sure. And I think the resources there and the intention, sure. So, and when you're at that much of a razor's edge, right? What did I say? 2020, 20,682 votes. Yeah. This is going to be a big deal. And they know it on the left. They're going to be all in on Wisconsin. That was the state that Hillary Clinton screwed up. Remember, she didn't show up. Dum. All right, we're going to move east. Michigan, 15 at stake here. By the way, I forgot to say it. I don't want to shade Wisconsin right now. We're going to leave this for a second because we got to come back to it. That's how close this thing is. All right, let's go to Michigan. 15 at stake. This is the same as Wisconsin, except technically a little bit here. 46.4 to 46.2. Biden with 0.2 of a point. That's nothing. That's literally the average of these polls. It's nothing. It's literally as dead heat as you can get. So many issues are at play in Michigan. You got the Teamsters issue, right? You think about this. Trump invited the head of the Teamsters to speak at the convention, and he said yes. This is a shock. This should be, I'm sure that the Biden team is furious with the Teamsters right now. But this is a big deal. These auto workers, I don't think that a lot of them really care what the head of the union thinks. But again, when it's that close, 5,000, 10,000 of them shifting, that's big. You think about Detroit and the erosion of the black vote for Biden. This is big. You think about the issues that he's had with Muslims and Palestinian voters because of what's going on in Israel and Hamas. This, remember during the primaries, all these folks saying we're not voting for anyone. No, it was a none of the above. This is Michigan. This is a problem for him. Okay. This has been very, very close. I always tell you my go-to stat in Michigan, 2016, 0.22%, 10,703 votes. That's how close this is going to be. We're keeping this unshaded again. Sorry, 2 in a row. But that's how close they are. And I want to show you the consequences of that in a second. All right, let's go back up north. I said I would talk about Maine. Here we are. 4 electoral votes at stake. This state right now, yes, we've seen polling showing it dead even. We've gotten a lot of excitement about this. We talked to folks. I'm going to put this in the Biden column for now. The 3 electoral votes, the 2 statewide and the 1st congressional district. Trump gets the 2nd. So of the 4 at stake, Trump gets 1, Biden gets 3. Can things change? Absolutely. Maybe the next time that we do this, I go from light blue to light red. I need to see a little bit more and a commitment from the Trump campaign that they're actually going to make it a play for it, okay, by putting people in there and some money into this. But this would be big. It's not a ton, but it's hey, in a close race, taking 3 off the map for your opponent and putting 3 into your column. So we'll see. And I think the Trump campaign is equally looking at this saying, all right, let's see if there's a couple more polls that come out. And I was surprised. I've been up there before. Guns are a big issue. You've got a great couple candidates running in those districts. NASCAR driver running in that 2nd congressional district who's phenomenal, raised a ton of money. I think that you could see that flip for the Republicans. 2nd district could be competitive too. That could happen. So there's a possibility that Trump, I mean, you could end up with Trump taking both congressional districts. There's a bunch of scenarios at play. Okay. So let's keep an eye out. But for the sake of this, we're going to shade that for Biden. All right. New Hampshire. I'm going to approach this the same way that I just approached Maine. Okay. 4 electoral votes at stake. I could see this coming into play like I did with Maine, but I want to keep it light blue for now. In the 2016 campaign, Trump only lost by 2 points, and he lost by 7 the last time. There's something going on in New England. I told you about Rhode Island. I've seen the data in Maine. New Hampshire, the live free or die state, man. I don't know. I think that there's something there. They got a competitive gubernatorial race. Chris Sununu, the popular multi-term governor, isn't running for re-election. I don't know. Let's see how this plays out. It's not there yet for Trump. Biden still has a nice enough lead, at least in the public polling. So if you know more and you live in New Hampshire, let me know. But for now, for the sake of the exercise, we're going to keep that light blue. All right. We've got 6 states left. I want to give you kind of a quick run through of where we are now, because this is with the map. This is it, folks. This is where things are going to move fast and furious. And whereas we move forward, it's all going to happen. And this is where someone's going to get to 270. Pennsylvania, 19 electoral votes. Okay, Trump is currently up by 2.8%. Okay, 48 to 58.2. This is really close. I want to punt this just like I did Michigan and Wisconsin for now. Trump won by 0.5 in 2016, and Biden is in the books with just over a point win in 2020. McCormick and Casey, big Senate race there. Casey holds currently, according to the latest public poll, a 6-point lead. I think this continues to get closer and closer and closer. This, by the way, keep seeing something right now, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. All right, Virginia, 13 electoral votes at state as we move south. The last time Virginia went Republican, when? Sean Spicer trivia, 2004, when I served as an elector. There you go, if that comes up. Now, I just gave you a thing there. All right, recent polling shows it's tied. Trump's spending a little bit of time in Virginia. Glenn Youngkin getting a little bit more active. The campaign doing a rally there, right, down in Chesapeake. This is big. They're showing some interest. I think it's a good story. I would put Virginia, it's getting there. It's getting there. But for the sake of this, we're going light blue. Okay, you'll see why in a second. I can see this coming into play, though, guys. Youngkin, what he did and what's going on, it's all going to be about turnout. Okay? Hung Kao running for the Senate, just emerged from a primary there. Navy veteran. He can play well big in Northern Virginia with the Asian communities. And there's a big several blocks of Asian communities in Northern Virginia. And he plays big in the Hampton Roads area because of his Navy background. Okay? North Carolina, 16 electoral votes. Trump has won twice, despite what Jen O'Malley Dillon said. I'm going to put Trump in light red here. Okay? Put North Carolina in the light red column. I think this ends up in his column. They're high on this only because Mark Robinson, the current lieutenant governor, they don't think he's running the strongest race. I don't think that's going to matter. I think North Carolina is going to go into the Trump column. Okay, Georgia, Trump is currently up by 46.2 to 44.2. Trump won by 5 points in 2016. I'm putting Georgia back in the light red column because I think that's where it ends up. Okay, so look at where we are now. I think if I'm correct, Trump is at 268. Biden's at 226. 44 outstanding. Okay, these 3 states, folks, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania are where the race goes. So this is where I want to tell you what I want to say right now. Okay, Trump is he needs 2 to win. Biden needs to get from 226 all the way up to 270. Trump just needs one of those outstanding 3 states, Michigan, Wisconsin, or Pennsylvania. Okay? We've been very conservative, as I told you. And the reason I shaded New Hampshire, Maine, Minnesota, all those for Biden is because I want to show you Trump right now, one state puts him over and he becomes president again. He can potentially expand the map even more. Virginia, New Hampshire, Maine. I was very conservative with Trump. Think about any state there and tell me where I'm wrong. I don't think there is one. I don't think anyone from Biden would say that. Okay? Look, maybe Nevada and Arizona move. We'll see. But right now, I feel good if I were on Trump. Pennsylvania is going to be critical to a Biden win. And there's a reason I left them unshaded. Trump could take the Pennsylvania 10, the Michigan 15, and the Wisconsin 10. He could run it all. Okay? Pick up another 35 electoral votes. Boom. You're at 3. This is Trump's to lose right now. Well, if you enjoyed this content, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get more.